Yes, guys, what's going on? Adam McKola, Dean, we are back. This is the aftermath. Manchester United beat Cardiff 5-1. And since we've been here, let me fix this camera a little bit. The wrong way. That's definitely the wrong way. Yeah, well, that's all over the gaff. Right, we're going to fix this right now. There we go. Since we've been back, and since we've been here, Manchester United have obviously changed manager. It's been an interesting time for the club. Me and Dean had our thoughts. Like the debate didn't really go away. So even though we've been away for a while, Dean, and hello, by the way, how you doing?
Yeah, good man. Obviously, I think from a week ago.
A week ago.
You know what I'm saying? It's changed a lot. Obviously, it's been mad just watching from obviously as a fan of United, like what's happened this week, and then the performance we kind of put on yesterday. I know is against Cardiff, but just a lot of, like I said, a lot of the things for me, the way the players reacted out in the aftermath, the way they celebrated, the way the bench celebrated, just the whole vibe around everything amongst the fans. Even like there seems to be like a common ground between everyone now, whether you was Jose in or out. It don't matter now.
That toxicity has definitely lifted, hasn't it? Like because whether you were behind Mourinho still, okay, I think behind is the wrong word. Whether you believe Mourinho could change things around or you thought he was done at Manchester United, like the mood around the team, around the fans, around the players, around everything was very negative. Jose Mourinho, as a representative of the club, as a man that is the figurehead of the club, became very negative. And that has changed with that appointment. And I think that's why the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer appointment, whilst it is a short-term appointment, was so important because of the fact that it has lifted everything. Obviously, whether he's tactically the man for that, we'll see over the next couple of months, or whether he's the right manager for it is another story completely. But as an interim manager, I couldn't really think of anybody better. And that was shown in the performance against Cardiff. United 5, Cardiff 1. First time we scored 5 goals since Mike Phelan's last game against West Bromwich Albion in that 5-5, where Lukaku, funnily enough, scored a hat-trick. But since that game, and it shows, that's a very long time. I know you can't really judge a team by how many times they score 5 goals because that's a little bit weird. You could score 4 goals an awful lot of time, but we didn't. And we never looked like scoring that.
But City, I think, not to shine a light on them, but I think in that time, I think City had hit 5 or more.
20 times or something.
Something ridiculous. And they're kind of like, as sad as it is, they're kind of becoming a benchmark for kind of that kind of attacking football, what we've kind of been known for. So it was kind of good to get back to that.
Very true. Do you want to, because we've been away for a while, and we're going to be chatting for a little bit of 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Do you want to go back to the start of this week? Jose Mourinho sacked as manager after that defeat against Liverpool. Not just because of that defeat against Liverpool, but was it the right decision?
I think time will tell, but I think in the interim, in the time being really now, I think it is the right decision. Like
at that time, was it the right decision for you?
To be honest, it's like when I heard the news, I was listening to TalkSport, funnily enough, and then I heard it come through. I was not surprised at all. Like when they said it, I wasn't really.
Not even by the time. I was surprised by the timing. Not by him being sacked.
To be honest, I was surprised it didn't happen previously, but for him not to be sacked, and then when they came out and they said that he had been sacked, I just wasn't surprised. Like I say, there's a lot of stuff where I think obviously the board, I don't think would have been happy with him as much as he was annoying a lot of the fans or a portion of the fans. And obviously, if you're a match day going fan, to me it's been awful. Like I joked on Twitter and said it was like one of the first times I think I had the urge to fall asleep. And literally it's been that, but like even that to think is just awful. Like so even just to see, I know it was Cardiff, but just to see us actually playing football and as bad as defensively we are, and to be fair, it's like a penalty is a bit arguable. Could have had the clean sheet.
I don't think it was a penalty.
I don't think neither. But it's like even that the fact that they we was 2-0 up and then they scored. Our heads could have dropped, pushed on. You know what I'm saying? End up putting 5 past them. So I think for me it was just good to see, and it was just kind of like again it kind of suggests it probably was the right decision because even with Mourinho in charge, I think. We maybe would have got a win there, but it wouldn't have been in the same manner. And the players don't react the way just the way that as soon as they scored, I just like it just looked different. Everything looked different. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then obviously when we're putting in a cup and the way they're playing amongst each other, it's like I was trying to put my finger on what's so much different between what he was doing under Solskjaer and Mourinho. And also I know the stats that came out, we've run a lot more, but it's just I don't know. Everyone kind of looked like they was enjoying it more. Like, and even that, it's like Solskjaer himself just seems just like a happy guy.
Yeah, Rooney mentioned that as well, that he had shared some text with him about making the players smile again. Alex Nild's in the comments, hope you're doing well. Alex, saw your pictures yesterday from the game as well, looking very good. Nick Collis says Jose was killing our club. If we play the way we did, our defence doesn't get a hammering. Says Colin, which is something you alluded to off camera, that attack could be the best form of defence. We were speaking about how, you know, United would play in the coming games, but we'll speak about that a little bit later on as well. Loads of people in the comments: Jesse, Nick, Alex, Will, Colin, Gov Bandicoot's back, Baron, Virendra, Manny Plays, Billy T. Thank you all for getting involved. Keep your questions coming in as well. As for Jose Mourinho, the question I asked Dean: was it the right decision? Now, as you guys all know, I was of the decision that Jose should really be sacked, because I felt he was never going to improve the situation at Manchester United. It's unfortunate. I wanted it to work out. After his first season, which I thought was pretty good, I thought it was something that could work out. Second season, half of it was good, half of it wasn't. And the summer is kind of where it all fell apart. And the summer, you know, is where I think he lost a lot of the dressing room with the way he was talking. You hear about the way he was around the club, and if a lot of those things are true, then it only seemed that it was going to get worse. And so I think it had to happen. I'm surprised the club were so proactive to actually make that decision now, where we can actually still rescue something from the season. So I'm a little bit happy with that, although I do think top four's gone. I don't think we have, you know, a lot to play for apart from the cups. I do think we can use this time to re-inspire our players, reinvigorate them, get them remembering what it feels like to play for Manchester United, or some of them, get them knowing what it means to play for Man United. And then in the summer, we can hopefully have got a new manager in charge, director of football, a new vision, a new plan for the club. And we can get rid of some of the players that need to go, and we can move forward with a freshness that we haven't had in a long time. If we don't make top four, I absolutely wouldn't be against us being outside the Europa League spots as well, because I think that would be fantastic for next season, just to focus domestically. But yes, long story short, I do think it was the right decision to get rid of Jose. I am gutted a little bit that it didn't work out, but we did get Stockholm out of it, I suppose, and the League Cup final against Southampton, which were two great days out. And the Europa League saw us complete the full set. So we have to be thankful to him for that. And you know what's got in about that night, yeah? You know the picture of Jose and Pogba together? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, Jose, man.
I thought it would just kick on from there.
That's what I thought. I thought that was something.
I was like, I just thought that Mourinho, if you have the best, to me, Pogba's going to be the best centre midfielder for like a 10. Like,
no, I still think it can be.
Yeah, for like this kind of like.
But I thought Jose was going to have that.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's the annoying thing. He should have used him to, like, be his new Zlatan in a way. You know what I mean? Like, he's got an ego, not like Zlatan's.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's egotistical, Pogba, but I think he does, obviously, you know, he has that aura about him. You can use that in a positive way, and I just don't think he did that. And I think he lost a lot of other players, not just Paul Pogba. Anyway, someone said Spiderwing in the comments to stop talking about Jose now. The only reason we're talking about him is because we've been away for a while, and I thought, let's talk about him. Although, to be fair, I'm not going to brag, but one of my videos about it was trending. Do you see that? The video of the full-time level was trending.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
When he got sacked. Probably because of the topic and not because of me. It was trending. I'm gonna claim that anyway. But yeah, moving on. Cardiff 1, Manchester United 5. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, interim manager. He's been refreshing, hasn't he, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Yeah. I don't know how long this is going to last. We might get battered by Huddersfield on Boxing Day. But how refreshing was that?
Yeah, and like I said, I was saying to you just prior to this, who else really could you have got whereas he's gonna get all the fans on side. Like he's responsible for.
Are you coming on this field, by the way?
I'm gonna see what I want and start trying out like new baby and all that. You get
Baby's on it now after Jose's kind.
Yeah, not even that, but it's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, before when Jose is there, it's awful, man.
Yeah,
awful. Like, yeah, like it's been bad before, innit? But like under Vanguard, under Moyes, but it's just been to watch. It's just been excruciating. So to be honest, I'm kind of just the change in the players. To be honest, something needed to change in it. Like,
the way he spoke about them was very, like you mentioned earlier, it was night and day to what the way Jose Mourinho was speaking about them. Yeah,
if you was listening to Solskjaer talk about the team, and you listen to Jose talk about the team, you'd think he's talking about two different sets of teams, isn't it? Like, but even that, as a fan, I was getting convinced. I'm like, yo, we're a great team. I listen to Solskjaer, I'm like, yo, we're a great team. We got great players. I'm like, raw. Like, listen to Jose, and it's like, yo, Juventus.
But you see what I was saying now, like months ago, when I was saying, like, when people were saying to me, these players have to perform, like, the brain is so fucking important. Like, yo, your mind is so important, and I think hearing positive things can only, you know, it's like when you think like just the law of attraction. You get me? Like,
yeah. But I think that some people react to salt, some people react to sugar, and I think
Jose doesn't get that.
Yeah, no, but I think he just thinks that
everyone
reacts more salt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, but it's like to me that's how it's kind of gone, and it's like the generation of players that's now, it's not the same as before. They're not the John Terry, you know what I'm saying? Not comparing to John Terry, but you know what I'm saying? They're different people, so you need to do different things, and I don't know, like it's.
What you're saying is not everyone sleeps with their teammates. Or gets dressed in a full kit after back playing a game.
He's a joker. Trust me.
How good is it to feel good about football again? I know, like, it's Cardiff, but like you said, we would have beaten them probably under Jose Mourinho. But it would have been like 2-0 though. We would have gone behind and then come back, and you know, similar to Bournemouth, and it wouldn't have really meant anything. And then we probably would have played Huddersfield and drawn 1-1 or something stupid like that. And it would have just been that cycle of negativity. And I think just the whole change and the way they were playing, like people say, the players were trying more for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I disagree. I think him saying to them, you can make mistakes. Just make sure you recover if you do make those mistakes. You guys are fantastic players. I want to see you go out, express yourselves. That was one thing he kept saying. I want to see them express themselves. I want to see them be kids that love football again. Bruv, why do footballers play football?
Yeah.
Not to be this negativity and all that. They want to be positive, and they want to play football, and they want to showcase their talents, especially the kind of players that we sign. Jose is not in charge of a Stoke City or, you know, a team that's got that underdog mentality. He's in charge of a team that is here to express themselves and to showcase their talents, and I think he has tapped into that because we've got so many players like that. You look at Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Ander Herrera even, Marcus Rashford. They're expressing themselves.
Even that, for example, like I don't want to keep harping back to Jose, but I don't think Ander Herrera shoots under Jose from there. Like even when he
I don't think he's there.
Yeah,
I don't think he's there.
Even like, I see that as well. Like, but
I've seen the position.
I don't think he shoots. After. I don't think for me. I don't think he shoots. I shot till he scored, and it's like even that. It's like everyone's probably saw that training video of him. Like in,
it did take a meaty deflection, by the
way. Yeah. But if you don't shoot, you don't score. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I think like again, like to harp on at City, but it's like Kevin De Bruyne's goal. Like you know what I'm saying, whipping it for a cross in it. Like, but you kind of need to be putting it in somewhere to have a chance in it. But even that, I just don't. That's the part for me. That's a positive as well. Where it didn't look like we could string passes together. You look at Martial's goal. We're playing man like he's like a football. It's a joke, man. And it's like how have we had these players like been looking stiff, super stiff, and that the players been looking at it, just like not even looking like we can link up or nothing. And then again, it's only Cardiff I know, but like
but. Look at the way we played against Derby, Wolves, etc.
We're just getting played off the park by these teams, you know. Them ones like even that. It's like that's what I'm saying. That's how bad it's been. That's why it was kind of it was refreshing. Like I don't know anybody really who was probably like obviously we were looking forward to the game since Solskjaer's coming in, but like before that, I don't know, was man's really looking forward to the game. You know what I'm saying? Oh, like you know what I'm saying?
You know what's mad, yeah? Like I was at the boxing yesterday. By the way, I'm gonna put a vlog up for that as well. Probably put it up tomorrow. I was at the boxing yesterday, and if Jose was in charge, I don't think I would have made the effort I made to watch it had he been in charge. I would have checked the score and all that, but I wouldn't have wanted to watch it.
What would you have been missing?
I was on the motherfucking motorway with the laptop out, tethering, with that game streaming, and like, yeah, I wanted to see what was happening.
Watching the road, obviously, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't driving. I had the luxury of not driving yesterday. Cheeky Sport Dave bumped into him ringside when I got in. So the first half's finished. I've gone in, got through all the security. That it must be about 10 minutes into the second half. Cheeky Sports Dave's there with the phone on, with him and the game. Again, I can't speak for Dave, but I don't think he has that phone on if Jose Mourinho's in charge. You get me? And everyone that I met around the stadium, like, that was a United fan.
Would man be wasting their battery for that?
Like, that came up to us, they were like, what you think of that? You're buzzing. And like, they were just happy again. And I think that's what he has done. He has made United happy again. He's made us happy.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He's kind of like, I'm not very pro of like Woodward or whatever, but you know, obviously you could argue that it's cost them more money to get rid of him because paying like 24 mil apparently to leave. That's a big loss they're taking. And then to Solskjaer, you know what I'm saying? He's inexperienced. Like, he's kind of a gamble, but like I said, who else?
I don't think it is like, because he's not permanent.
Yeah,
if it was permanent, it's
but
a
if
gamble.
they're all about business, and it, like you'd be like, yo, get me the person who's gonna like who's
this
gonna
season was
save
dead,
this.
bruv.
Yeah,
this
but
season
still
was dead out. So
yeah,
what were we gonna do?
From our perspective, but the you know what I'm saying, the people who own the club want money in it. That's how I see it. It's like they can't even. To me, they're gambling on it because it could go one or two ways. Hopefully, it goes positively. But
Baron Def said Jose to Bayern, laugh my fucking ass off. I don't know if he's laughing at the suggestion of that. I don't think that ever happens in a million years. Bayern Munich have like a hierarchy and like a philosophy and all that they adhere to, and that's not happening. Someone called it Ole Ball. Honey Singh and Zed both coincidentally said that. Nick says, I don't know, he's arguing with someone, so I'm not going to read that out. The injection of confidence into the players is so evident, says Governor Bandicoot. Now that can only have a short-term effect. Now obviously his man management could be very good in the long term. But by that I mean, in the next couple of games we can get through against Huddersfield playing like that. We can get through against Newcastle possibly playing like that. But tactically, against Tottenham is where like we'll get to see more of Solskjaer, don't you think?
Yeah, but even that, for me, it's like attack is the best form of defence, and I think obviously our attackers are better than our defenders. So,
but you still can't leave the kind of gaps away at Spurs as we did away at Cardiff.
But if we be clinical, innit? Like
yeah,
I don't know. Like, oh, can you stop it? Like, if we've already seen under Mourinho, we've played ultra negative, really, and like we've not done anything. You know what I'm saying? We've not really done anything to teams. So, if it was me, if I was taking on the job, I would look to go forward. I think
there was some madness going on with his, like the wingers were really coming in deep, the fullbacks are pushing on. Like he was trying a thing like tactically, so it'd be interesting how it evolves. I thought Pogba was immense. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Ali does with Juan Mata, you know.
I'm interested to see what he does with other players. To be honest,
Alexis Sanchez is finally alive again, back at Carrington.
That's what I mean.
Listening to tunes, sending shots at everybody. Is he there to collect his bet money? Apparently not. But he's back now.
That's what I mean. Like, even that, it's like I just think the way, like, if you actually look at the team, like when we took Sanchez, I thought he's for me he was one of the few top players in the Prem, really.
Top 5, top 10, definitely.
Top 2 for me, but like
shit.
At the like you know what I'm saying. But it's like if we can get into looking any kind of form like he was looking under Arsenal, you know what I'm saying? Like we'd be dangerous anyway. That's what I mean. So I think I can't remember who said it, but they were saying like it's kind of a win-win situation for Solskjaer, like, but in this job, but he's got the potential really. Like the attacking talent, we've got a lot. You know what I mean? Like
Anthony Martial 8 goals this season. What a goal that was, by the way. One touch passing. We never. I don't think a player. It was very similar to the goal that we scored against Arsenal, to be fair, away from home. But we've seen that in moments, and we're getting to see more of that from the players. At least we had a full 90 minutes performance. We haven't had that in 5-6 years.
That's what I mean. I was always expecting we're gonna dip off for 20 minutes, or it didn't really.
The only bad thing about this weekend is Liverpool top of the league, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's out of our control. And, you know, them ones that we could have impacted it last week. But.
Someone commented saying, "What do you think of our top 4 chances?" Now we are 6th, 29 points, 8 points off Arsenal, and Chelsea. Sorry, so 8 points. We're 8 points off the top 4, but that's 2 teams. We are 13 points off Tottenham. Play them soon. And 15 points off City, but there's no point mentioning that. So we are 8 points off the top 4.
Yeah, I think for
we
me,
need to make a 9-point gap.
Yeah, I think
goal difference.
It is possible in terms of, I think, you know what I'm saying, we could win a couple and then Arsenal and Chelsea could lose a couple or whatever. And then
they are probably the teams in that top 5 that you would see. Are they the teams that you would see dropping the most points, or do you think Tottenham?
100% for me. I mean, Tottenham do look strong. City
both in the Europa as well, which helps.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I don't know. For me, City are the best team.
If you had to give me a percentage of the likelihood United will finish in the top 4, what would you say that is?
I don't even really. Well, it's not. I don't know if it's 50-50. I don't know. Like, because at the same time we look kind of rich at the same. If you're going on the past kind of the best barometer for the future, and it's like prior to this, like we've been awful. So I don't know. Maybe could this just be like a short term? Yeah, could this just be this one game? I don't know, but hopefully we can make up. Ali said himself, we've made up more than 8 points before. Like if we was, you know what I'm saying, from now to the season, if we treat it as a like kind of a fight, like you know what I'm saying, like it's from a race from now to the end of the season, like we're Man United, and it really we should. If we're not challenging for it, to be honest, I don't know what we're doing.
Isn't that great though that Oli is? From last week we had Jose saying Everton are doing great things like us, and
I said Liverpool are better than us.
Yeah,
I was a bit shocked.
Also, that top 4 was gone, but we tried to get in the top 4.
I think he said we could get top. We think we get 4th. Like
but my man coming out saying we've done bigger gaps and. Man United are much better in the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Coming out, and the players are hearing a different message. That's a good thing. At the highest level, I want to see what Oli can do tactically, says Ryan. Our focus just has to be beating Arsenal and Chelsea, 2 winnable teams, says Wesley. If Oli gets top 4, he deserves the job, says Ryan. Is there any circumstance Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets the permanent job for you?
It would be good, innit? But that's not that massive.
Bro, we got 650 people in, you know. That's good, that. It feels like there's been a bump in, we're doing this video. Probably wouldn't have linked up if we were shit. This weekend.
I mean,
did you watch Filthy Fellas last?
That's what I'm saying.
Did you watch it?
I don't think
they were laying into United Road podcast, yeah.
Yes, well.
So guys, basically United Road podcast, me, Bolt, Scribs, Margs. We're supposed to record monthly, and we haven't recorded for a long time. In the last year, I'd say we've recorded about 3 or 4 times, which is fucking diabolical, yeah. And we got ripped on Filthy Fellas this week.
Wow, speed.
But I kind of feel like, whereas some people would probably see how this is going to be a bit mad. So, in my position, it may be very, very beneficial to me to do much more content when Manchester United are doing badly. But I just feel like I can't be asked to do anything when United are doing badly. I don't want to talk about it. Bro, we were arguing all the time.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even chat to my dad. Like me, Steve, Dave, always arguing. Like talking about football was the last thing I wanted to do. So, like the podcast is gonna get a revival. Josh Derry. We've already booked in the next 6 months worth of studio sessions. That is how long Ole Solskjaer's contract is, by the way. No coincidence. There might be a little bit of a coincidence. But that's kind of a commitment to say that we're going to do this for the next 6 months. So it feels like just the feel good factor is making me want to do stuff again.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this is more regular. Probably lose against Huddersfield and I'll think, fuck it, delete my vlog and everything.
Yeah, I think positive, man, on that.
Ollie's probably like, yeah. He's actually lived up to his song as well.
That's what I mean.
He's made us happy when skies were grey.
Who else? That's what I'm saying. To me, it's kind of it's a masterstroke, really. Like, who else could have? The man's responsible for some of the biggest history in the club's history. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who else could they have got? Who would have probably this effect? I don't think there's anyone really, like, you know what I'm saying? Even like a Cantona or something. Like,
I think Cantona had the same effect.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like his actual demeanour is more very laid back. You know what I'm saying? But whereas Ollie's proper bubbly and, you know what I'm saying, he looks like a guy you'd want to be around. You could just tell from the way they're celebrating. I'm not like necessarily just because he's celebrating he means more than say Jose or whatever. But it's good to see when we're scoring, like, these men are gassed. You get me? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so what, like, you know what I'm saying? It's been a while. Van Gaal didn't move out his seat. You know what I'm saying? As a fan, I'm thinking.
Do you know what I love as well?
Bro,
yeah? This week, people have blamed the likes of Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba for his departure. Jesse Lingard was doing the gun lean.
Yeah, nice.
Pogba's getting couple assists and doing shaky legs and all sorts on the ball. Like, it was good to see. Spiderwing says bad energy, stay far away. Can't say that without trying to sing it. We are loving this after a long time, says Ram. Phelan was a good. I'm gonna. In the past, I've called him a yes man, and kind of said that it wasn't really important. But maybe someone like him is important, and I got it wrong. We don't know how much.
It's fine, but at the same time, like a assistant manager, like the gaffer, you know what I'm saying? Whoever's at the top, he's responsible, and like, because even if they're there to just give a different opinion or whatever, you don't know. But like, I don't know. Like, obviously, it's good. Sometimes I think nostalgia plays tricks on you, and it. Like, I think sometimes, but you remember the past like more better than it say it was, or you think it can be reproduced now. But that's what I just hope it isn't. But hopefully, at the same time, we've still got obviously Carrick's still there, and obviously, you know, obviously he's been a class player for United. He's obviously he's worked under Jose, and obviously that McKenna's there, and obviously he's got a good reputation for what he's from what I know. So obviously he seems to have a good support network. Solskjaer does for me. But again, it's gonna come down to him, and he calls the shots really.
By the way, we got 618 people watching. 108 people have liked the video. Can we get that to 200 or even 300? Get it up to 300. And also, we are 19 subscribers away from 55,000 now, because I've not been making any content. That's been hella slow recently. But I survived the YouTube purge. I only lost like 20 subs. Deleted loads of fake accounts. So can we get to 55k? Get on it. Get subscribed. And if you're not subscribed already, now we're going to talk about let's move away from the Cardiff game and like the next couple of fixtures. We'll do a aftermath after the game against Huddersfield or something like that. We'll talk about the game. But going forward, what do you want to see from Manchester United now? Because, you know, it's Jose Mourinho was a big problem for Manchester United. I think his negativity was a big problem. I think him as a manager wasn't suited to the group of players that we had. And I think the results meant that he had to go. But it's clear there's a hierarchical problem at Manchester. Is that the right word?
Hierarchical, I think.
Yeah. That there's a problem at Manchester United where Ed Woodward shouldn't really be making although some of the footballing decisions that he's rumoured to be a part of, which was keeping Anthony Martial, keeping Luke Shaw, making sure Pogba stayed, you know, I would say those are strokes of genius. But nevertheless,
but they're simple. They're not that hard. You know what I'm saying? I would make that decision. Innit?
But he shouldn't be making footballing decisions, and we need someone in there alongside him now. The rumours are, although he briefs the press a lot, and some things, 90% of the things never come true, he's looking for a director of football before we get a manager. Is that the kind of move you want to see us make?
I'm not. A lot of people have said. A lot of people are saying this, and they want this. And for me, I don't know. Like the way I see, if you're a manager, I can understand they want the club to go in a certain direction. Obviously, this guy can kind of orchestrate that, and he can be ever present regardless of the manager sort of thing. But for me, I think if you're a manager, some of the top managers I think don't want to work under a director of football.
But when you say that, we're the only team, I think, in the Premier League not to have a sporting director or a director of football or something of that figure. At least the big clubs and the elite clubs.
Yeah, I think some of it obviously is because a lot of other teams obviously have high turnover on managers. We haven't really had that up until this last 5 years or whatever. And obviously now we've kind of joined in the same thing. So with that in mind, I think, you probably do need someone who's going to be ever present, kind of steering the ship. And then obviously you got a manager who kind of has to check in with your man, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I would prefer if we didn't. But if we are going to have this high turnover on managers, like, which kind of now I suppose the managers like your Fergies and your Wengers, it's a thing
their days are done, innit?
That's what I mean. So you're probably going to have to.
I think we need one.
Yeah, I think it is kind of following suit, but at the same time, the way it's going, we probably do need one. But it's like I heard Peter Schmeichel says he wants to do this. Bro, you can't. I don't know. You can't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, goalkeeper, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
all this talk about Peter Schmeichel, Gary Neville, all that. No, stay away.
But I like how like Gary Neville, when I think he was asked, and he's just saying like, nah, it's like I'm not qualified to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get the top.
I think Gary Neville's been. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I think he's been way off the mark this week. Even like him getting it wrong about Paul Pogba and that scheduled tweet thing, the Adidas statement coming out and then doubling down on it. But it was incredible to me. I think he's just, you know what, each to their own, but I think he's way off the mark when he comes. This week he's just been mad, and he just refused to criticise Jose Mourinho, and then like you see the change in things, and now it's almost as if a manager didn't do that. It's like what is the job of a manager then? Job of a manager is set the mentality, the attitude, keep your players motivated. It's not like Paul Pogba was the only player, and I just felt like there was a lot of people victimising and making Paul Pogba the scapegoat this week for Jose Mourinho's departure, and I think it's been absolutely ridiculous. And I think I've said it before. Paul Pogba is part of the solution, not part of the problem at Manchester United. If we lose Paul Pogba, our midfield could be fucked.
Prior to Pogba, we were awful. You know what I'm saying? We had no one in midfield who couldn't move with the ball. Even now, like you look around world football, there's not many midfielders who just happily run with the ball. He does that. To me, he's inconsistent, yes, but his style of play, if like used effectively, like. He's one of the most dangerous midfielders. He can beat you know what I'm saying? He can just beat you, just one on one. Like, never mind, he can pass it and do everything else. He can beat you, and he got a shot on him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's got a decent record, to be fair to him, like goals and assists. Obviously, got a couple of assists.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. For me, it's like when Gary Neville and all these media guys talk about him. To me, it's to kind of build up their profile to get them headlines. So now it's him in the headlines.
I don't know. I don't think Gary Neville thinks that way. I think he's genuine in what he says, but I think just like anyone, like I don't agree with Paul Ince's comments.
Yeah,
Paul I don't agree with some of the things that Paul Scholes and Rio Ferdinand say. Like although I do agree with a lot of what they say as well. So, you know, Gary Neville, when he doesn't talk about Manchester United, I agree with a lot of what he says.
Yeah, no, I agree that. But
I think he just came from like you know that era, like even Roy Keane. They came from, like, Roy Keane played for Brian Clough and Sir Alex Ferguson, yeah. When he played for a poor manager in Mick McCarthy, he lost his head, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how can he then criticise players for not performing? For the reason they come from that bubble of Sir Alex Ferguson where his man management was perfect, and more often than not, we were getting results. So it's easy for you to stay on side of the manager and back the manager and give everything every week and, you know, adhere to his tactics. When your manager is clearly not doing the job of man management and tactically and getting results, it's easy for players' heads to think, what the fuck's going on here, and not play well, and that negativity spread. And I think just because they've had that bubble, they think, oh, you should always do what your manager does. But no, you were always doing what Sir Alex Ferguson did. And Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest of all time, bar none. So it's unfair to even compare like what you experience to what they experience.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But it's like we obviously had the fallout of Mick McCarthy, but and they say it's like what Mick McCarthy done. You know, that's what I think he said. That's I think there's been a lot of Keane's problem. Like he's, you know what I'm saying?
Too good as a player.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know, like their setup at that time, he was complaining wasn't good enough. So I don't know, but I think Pogba's doing the same. Like really, like if Pogba's seeing what's going on under Jose and you don't agree, like fair play to him, mate. You need to say something. Like you need to say like, yo, what are we doing at it? Like you know what I'm saying? We got like all this attacking talent. Like what are we playing at? So like I don't know, like that's you need to. Like, I don't know. I'm more pro of that. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not bigger than the team or anything, but.
We'll talk about Wayne Rooney's comments and also Alexis Sanchez, which I've seen two things pop up in the comments. First, Alexis Sanchez. Could this be something? Could we get a revitalised Alexis now?
Hopefully, he's a player we signed. Like I was, to be honest, I thought at the time when he was linked with City, I thought if they signed Sanchez, I think it's game over for a while in the Prem. That's what I was thinking straight up. And I think if we can just get him looking half of like what he was like at Arsenal, like we got a top player there and more options, more problems for teams. Like a lot of the times he's looked better up top than Lukaku for me.
Yeah.
And it's like imagine if like again it's not even that hard, but like Jose was kind of dead against it. But let's see what happens when we play him up top. You know what I'm saying? He could have a good end to the season.
Could in this kind of system as well, where there's a bit more
freedom,
movement, and stuff like that. I think it could be ideal out wide or even through the middle, and it's an exciting thing to get him back into the squad. Hopefully, we get the Alexis Sanchez that we thought we signed. Wayne Rooney's comments on Jose. What did you make of Wayne Rooney's? Did you see his debut as a pundit?
Yeah, he's been a pundit before, hasn't he?
Sky Sports, wasn't it? Monday Night Football.
I'm sure I've seen him on there before, and that, but. Yeah, I saw some of the things he said and like I don't know, I was quite surprised he said them, to be honest. Like you know what I'm saying, because
it's easier when the manager's gone, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And you're
like
you're
even
never gonna play from your very is Mourinho gonna get a job at fucking DC? You know what I mean?
So I mean, but I was quite surprised, to be honest. But even then, it's like a lot of it's like you hear certain things and I kind of didn't want it to be true, but. When you hear like Rooney talk about it, and I'm like, so he was like that even when you was there, or maybe you're just hearing this like everyone like I don't know, like it's like Jose had me where it's like he would say like this is how he is on the TV, but in behind closed doors he's live, but like they're giving us some image like that. No, it's not like that. You get me? Like no one's happy around the club or anything.
What happened to Jose Mourinho? Because even Rue Farrier like left him.
Yeah, but that's just it's to further his own career, isn't it?
But what's it? But is that John Atkinson's?
Yeah, I know. I hear that still. I'm a bit baffled in it, but
I feel sorry for him in a way. You know what I hope I see from Jose Mourinho? Take a gap year, bro, and just find out where you're going wrong, bro, and improve yourself and come back. There's no reason why he will get job offers. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna get job offers. There's no reason why you can't.
He's a tough, like to be honest with you, he's like let's not get it too serious. It's kind of it's a hard task he took over, and like we were awful. You know what I'm saying? Like as bad as we think we were under Jose, we was bad under Van Gaal. Maybe not as football like looking wise. I don't know. Maybe you'd argue there was a bit more structure to it, but we've been awful. So it was hard. It was hard job to take on. And then obviously you got your opponents like City, and they're on a madness. Like they are able to sign goalkeeper that's whack. Couple centre backs at wing backs and then just go and replace them, you know, within his tenure, you know what I'm saying? And we're not doing that. And obviously he's alluded to that, but obviously a lot of people argue again he didn't utilise everything he had to their full potential, which has kind of been the reason why he's probably no longer with us. And obviously now like it's just positive now that obviously Solskjaer probably he's got a free shot, isn't it? Like you know what I'm saying? We can't get any worse than it really. Like
we've got him and Pochettino basically having an audition for the next 6 months.
Does
Solskjaer got 5,
audition, like
Poch got 6.
But like does it I don't know.
I'm joking.
Yeah, no, like I don't know, like he seems so.
I think is he the man for you? Poch is the man for me.
If I was making that decision, that's who I'd go for.
That's not to say I think he's guaranteed success. I don't think anyone guarantees success in him.
Out of everyone who's available,
Best
I think.
fit.
Yeah, like people talk about Zidane, like I'd take Pochettino all day over Zidane. Like even regardless who you got Champions Leagues, like. But personally, I don't think we get him. Like I don't think Levy lets him go.
I think we end up with possibly. I think we give Solskjaer a contract because he does reasonably well, which I don't know what reasonably well really is, but to Ed Woodward. And I think we, or someone like Jardim, Zidane, Blanc, I don't see us getting. No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like,
who wants Blanc?
We're not going to get Pochettino, although he would be my 100% choice.
Yeah, but it's like, the only one really is like, you'd argue Zidane, but I don't think Zidane's alright, man.
And I think all this media hype's going to backfire on us. And he's going to commit his future long term to fucking Spurs again.
No, well, he's already just he's just signed a 5-year.
Or they'll give him like 100 mil to spend in January. Something mad, bro, is going to happen, and it's going to force his hand to stay. That's the bad feeling I've got because it started too early.
But even that, it's like if we show signs of being good, it's like if we look more of an attractive option to him, like why you can see. I think he'd want to come. Don't get me wrong. I think he like really. It was funny because I don't know if anyone saw the press conference where. When Pochettino's having his press conference and then like their media officer is just getting rattled, like you know what I'm saying? It's like you can tell it's like Pochettino ain't really averse to answering the question.
But you see him smiling.
So I mean,
and did you see what he said the day before? Something he was like, he didn't say no and he didn't say yes. So he's kind of like keeping his options open, which is good for us. But I think the long build up could backfire on us, unfortunately. You got a prediction for Huddersfield? Boxing Day.
We going for just 5-0 clean sheet. And we like I don't know. Like,
I'm going for 3-1.
It's gonna be a big party and that like
3-1.
Even that's like the atmosphere is just gonna be. You can tell it's gonna be rocking and that. It's gonna be better. Them ones like it's just gonna be. It's got, like the whole mood is just changed, which is to me is just massive. Like
so you going 5-0?
Yeah, nah, straight up, man. Like 5-0.
Straight up, D's giving you 5-0. I need a piss, so we're gonna get half anyway, but. 2 subscribers to 55k, so thank you guys for subscribing and hopefully we hit that shortly. Dean, anything else?
Nah, man, just like it's just positivity now, innit? Like obviously Solskjaer's in there and obviously we look I don't know, we look a lot freer in it, so it's good, man. Obviously all the fans, like I say, so blessed with everyone in it now. Like there is no camps to be in, or it's just back the team, innit?
Therefore, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Adam McKola TV. Subscribe to Straight Up as well. The link's in the description below. Follow Dean on Twitter at Straight Up, D, all one word. And we'll be back very, very soon. Probably, I'll have my White Chisora 2 vlog up tomorrow. Then we'll have a vlog from United Huddersfield. Then we'll have another aftermath with me and Dean. Catch you later.